Hi Navya and hello everyone. A very warm welcome to our second session of education outreach. It is an initiative started under GirlScript Foundation where we are connecting experts with the learners. So we are on the mission to empower every individual to get the best access to learning and career opportunity. And today's session is definitely very special for the entire team of GirlScript Foundation because we have Navyaa Sharma. Uh, and let me introduce already that she is currently working at Google as a software engineer, and previously she has cracked internships into 𝐿 and Microsoft. Also, she has been a part of some hackathon. Also, she been guiding students as a tech speaker of mentor. So your journey looks very interesting and an incredible journey so far, Navya. We feel so much proud to having you on board, and it's such a perfect journey that every tech enthusiast would probably aim for. So yeah, a big congratulate for that. So without any further ado, Navya, let's start with you only. Let's share your story, like how the journey go for, and you're always wanted to be into tech or something. Let's begin the story from the start on the top. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And I'm happy to be here talking to you and so many aspiring engineers out there. So it's a great opportunity. Thank you for having me. As you said, like you gave a very nice introduction about me. So, and I totally relate to that. Like all the people who are viewing this stream right now, they are mostly from college. Time, and they would also have some goals and aims in their life that they want to achieve, landing into this specific companies. And also this in this session I will be talking about my journey. I'll be talking about how was it for me when I was back in my college days, and how did I manage things, what did I do to actually build my career path. And then I'll also talk about the learnings I made throughout this journey. So the learnings are very important because sharing our learnings educates people out there who are new to this path, so that can help them eventually. And apart from that, then I'll just talk about some tips from my side in the end. So I think like we can get started. So about me, I graduated in 2022 from BIT Vellore, and I did a BTech in computer science and engineering. And during my college days, we in our college, so usually 2 years I had in college, and 2 years then lockdown happened. So I just could spend 2 years of my time in college. But I would definitely say, like, all the guys who are in college now, they're definitely lucky, because being in college teaches you a lot more things, because online it's not that easy to actually interact with people, learn things and all. So that is a good thing that you guys are into being able to enjoy all 4 years of your college days. And then, so I did a couple of internships during my second year in, and like the one in Joe Stocks that I did. And then in my third year, I got an internship opportunity at Microsoft. And then after completing that, I when during placement, so then I had an offer from Google, and I joined Google. Like as a full-time employee there, and I'm working as a software engineer in Google. And that's what, like, it's been like 3 years now. I'm working there in Google. And so now, this is like just about me, how I would introduce it to you all. But then I would like to go back now to, like, the days when I was in college, so that we can talk about what things I did, how did I manage to build a roadmap that actually helped me to, like, make myself ready for applying for jobs and sitting into placements. So during my college days, I think whoever is studying fields related to computer science and engineering, so when you start your college, you'll have a lot of subjects in computer science which are the core CS subjects, like you will have database system management, operating system, networks. But there's another subject called DSA, which is data structures and algorithms. And so usually you would see that college would always stress out on these specific topics, and they would want you to give more attention to that and make sure your concepts are clear. And I definitely agree with the college faculties, because that is very important. uh, we do not realize it. So when I was in my college time, right, so sometimes like how we used to prepare is that just before the night of the exam, we are just starting the syllabus. People used to do like that, and we just used to study for the sake of exams. So this is what I think is not right approach. You can do this, when you're taking some electives which are not directly related to your main course that you are pursuing. But if it's the main CS subjects, please don't study just for the sake of passing the exams, or just don't study for the sake of marks. Study for the sake of learning, because that's what is going to take you ahead when you sit for placement. So make sure, when you are going through a particular topic nowadays, you guys are lucky, you have so many online free resources available on YouTube. So there are so many creators out there. And then the faculties are also super helpful. So resources are a lot of, like, already available. But the thing is that we should not take, I mean, I know that people want to enjoy in their college, but at the same time, when it comes to these core subjects, it's very important to pay attention and devote your time to understand, like, the reasoning behind the concept part of that subject, instead of just cramming it up. Then I would like to talk more about problem solving. So usually, when we go for placements, so when you start like applying and getting interview calls, so everyone is interested in your judging your problem solving abilities, because when we start working in corporates, right, so that's a real world scenario. So you'll have very dynamic real life problems coming up to you, and you will be the right, like, you will be the person who has to solve it, and you have to take the ownership for it. So solving a real life problem is what the problem solving skill is all about. Like, you might see some of the questions on lead code, right, that they'll have some stories and then they'll tell you, like, just solve it. So those stories are just fiction. They are just being made to replicate the real world scenarios when you actually start working out there. So that's why it's very important that you pay a lot of attention to build your problem solving skills well, because it's going to help you in a very longer run throughout your career. Even though you become senior, you have 30, 40 years of experience, whatever it is, like, it is going to be there till the end of, like, whenever you retire. So that's a very important skill. And for building that, so people don't understand the difference between DSA and problem solving. They think DSA is a different subject that you just have to study because you are told to do it and companies ask. But people fail to understand that DSA is what is problem solving. So DSA is about data structures and algorithms. So they are a tool that equip you with some, they give you some algorithms, some data structures that is going to eventually help you in solving a problem. So this is what learning DSA is, you learning problem solving. Because when we solve any problem on lead code, you would see that there is a fancy story out there, but and then you are like, you have to think about what approach should I take. Then you have to brush through your concepts of DSA, right? So both of these things are related. So don't think that they are two separate things. So definitely make sure that you're working on your problem solving skills. Try to learn DSA concepts, like, very well. Try to solve questions on lead code. Reading through questions is not going to help, unless you write code from your own. It's like just memorizing whatever you're reading. So memorizing doesn't help here. You actually have to write and see, debug the code if it has errors, make it run on different test cases. So that's what, like, your problem solving learning path should look like. And when you start learning all of this, so a very generic question that people ask is, what coding language should I choose? So again, I tell this to everyone, that irrespective choose any coding language, whichever you like, or whichever you think, maybe your college is teaching. So coding language is not actually important right now. What is important is that you are able to solve something, because coding language is just going to equip you with a syntax, give some predefined libraries, but at the end, all the logical part of it is same across all the languages. That is what you are supposed to write. It is not dependent on the language that you choose. So irrespective of the language, focus on the problem solving skills, and you can choose any one coding language like Python, Java, C++. Learn it very well, and make sure you learn the different syntaxes, different helper functions there, like how do you implement that particular code in, for example, Python, right? So you can just go through all these things and make sure you are comfortable in writing code in a particular coding language of your choice. Then this is the problem solving part. Then we all would have heard that, when you make your resumes, you are supposed to add a section called as project sections. So where do these projects are going to come from? Like, you just can't copy it from GitHub and just add it to your resume, right? Because you might do that just to make your resume look fancy, but it is not going to help you learn any skills. And in job interviews, what matters is your skills, right? That is what will be judged eventually at the end. So it's very important that you choose a domain of your interest. So what I mean by domain is, you can choose nowadays, ML AI is a good topic which people are interested in exploring. Then there is web development, there is app development. People also go into the areas of virtual reality and all. So people go in robotics. So I mean, all these things, it depends on person to person. I can't say here that you should do this particular domain. It depends on your interest, because eventually that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life, right? So if whatever interests you, choose that domain. Choosing the domain is not going to be that easy. You might have to explore, some options that you have. Then only you can weigh and see whatever which one interests you. So once you do that, then start learning what is in that domain. For example, if you choose web development, then you can start by learning front end development, back end development. How do we connect databases to back end? How do we connect the front end part and the back end part? So all these things are like some aspects of your learning that you should do. If you choose MLAI, learn about different ML algorithms, learn about how like newly what is going on is the trend of AI agents and all, and then LLMs. So learn about those new technologies if you're interested in AI ML. So all these things you have to spend some time, so that you are able to learn and make sure that you are learning and also implementing it. So these are your skills. So if you learn, for example, if you say that I learned MERN stack, you learned Node.js, React. So these are your skills, and using that, you can actually make a real project out of it. For example, if you want to start with, some people start with very basic projects like library management system. Then further you can go and increase the complexity of it depending on how you're learning. So you can have, to test your learning, you can have small projects out there, just to that motivates you and gives you a boost to learn more. So make sure you are able to do a hands on of whatever you are learning, because again, it's not theoretical. uh, Only if you implement it, then only it is going to help you, because everything is fully logical here, right? Then when you have some projects to put in your resume, then another good thing that I did in my college time was going to hackathons. So hackathons are very helpful. And I know some people out there are very like afraid that am I that skilled that I can go to a hackathon and participate. Some people are afraid of even going and participating. So I would say don't be afraid. No one is gonna judge you. You should first think about, the opportunities that lie ahead when you participate in a hackathon. So when you go to a hackathon, you learn a lot. So usually how it works is you'll be given a problem statement. That is what a real life problem statement, right? And then you'll be asked to develop some solution out of it. It might not be like the best perfect solution, but what they want to say is how you're able to think, how you're able to translate your ideas into code, right? So if you go to a hackathon, even if you don't win, or even if you are you're not able to complete what you wanted to implement, it's fine. Even if it's halfway there, you see your progress, then it motivates you. You learn by seeing how other people are doing, and you should always have that tendency to learn from others, because that's how you're going to increase your skill set. And then when you go to hackathons, you interact with people out there. So mostly I have seen that, when I used to go, so there were, in the panel of the jury, there were people from different industries. So interacting with them and going to know their ideas, telling them how you are thinking, actually gives you a lot of knowledge and exposure, and makes your logical thinking process more strong. This is what I noticed. So winning is not the goal that you should go with, like just the thinking of making something, thinking of having something live. Even if it's a small thing you made, if you're able to deploy it and see it live, you'll really feel proud of the work that you have done. And definitely, by time, when you keep on participating, you can even win. And I can tell you that there are many companies that even hire from hackathons. So uh, Amazon, Walmart, Flipkart, Uber, they actually hire from hackathons. So they launch a hackathon event, and you can participate, pitch your ideas, and then actually implement them. So if you go are able to make it to the finals, then they even offer jobs through that. So there are many opportunities out there. So I would always suggest that do go to hackathons. They are going to give you a lot of learning, and that covers your project part. So whatever if you're developing something in hackathons, you can even use it as a project that you made in your resume section, so it's gonna even help you there. Then always keep on updating your resume as you progress through your learning journey, so that you know a real picture of where you are placed right now, and what you need to improve, and what you need to work on more. So that gives you a reality check. So always try to keep on improving your version, revise your resume, and make different version of it. Always you can reach out to your seniors of, like, your college, for maybe just looking at, giving a look to your resume, ask for feedback on your resume, so that's how you can improve it. And then like, when it's the time to apply internships, make sure you are doing the applications on time. So usually in third year, or even in second year, many companies hire. In first year, it's usually hard to uh, get especially a paid internship, because you are still learning, and most of the people, even when I was in my first year, I didn't have that much confidence and skill set that I am ready for an internship. So it's perfectly fine. You can even start from second year and then third year. So just keep on applying to the opportunities, keep on looking actively for opportunities. LinkedIn is a good place to look out for. There are many LinkedIn jobs is there, and then there are people who post out opportunities. And there are several Telegram groups that people post job opportunities on. Even if you're looking for remote opportunities, there are separate websites for that. Even you can even use Naukri for jobs. So I mean, the goal that I'm trying to achieve here is that, please make sure you are readily applying, because the more you apply, more chances of you getting interview calls. So don't miss on any applications. And apart from that, we talked about the tech part a lot, which is very important. But there is another part that I would want to cover, which we call as soft skills. So I would say it's a very underrated topic, but a very important one. Usually, people don't discuss about it as a topic, because they just take it for granted that, yeah, I have these values. So you might have those values, but you don't know, right? Like, when you start working in a company in future, or even if you're working in your own team, making a project or participating in hackathons, you have to interact with, even with the people you don't know, right? But you have to do it. There is no escape route to it. So when you have to do that, soft skills are very important there, because you need to make sure that you are able to talk to that person, other people you're working with respect. You need to make sure you're not saying anything rude, which can be considered. You are very considerate about others people's views, and what ideas do they have. You're giving respect to everyone equally. So that's what the soft skills part is, that how your behavior is, how you are as a person when it comes to you, when you are in a team setting. So you have to make sure you are very collaborative with people. You give equal value to all the ideas. You're not too bossy. You're not cutting down people's ideas and respect just because of your bossy nature. So you're giving equal opportunities to everyone, because we might think that my idea is the best, but there are people out there who might have better ideas, and you can work together to build something which is maybe the best version of that idea. So that's what you should always learn, how to collaborate in a team, because going solo can be like, you it can be your choice, but it won't definitely fetch you too far, because when you go in a team, you are a lot of people trying to achieve the same goal, right? So more chances of you being successful, and your learning also stops there. So you definitely learn a lot from other set of people that you work with. So, and even in interviews, there is a separate round for most of the companies that is called the behavior round, or some people call it HR round. So it is designed just to see how your behavior is when you'll be given some random situations, how well you are able to present yourself in an interview, how well you are able to, like, just tell about who you are, what you have done. So that's also a skill. Are you able to pitch yourself to the person who is listening to you or not? And then, how well do you know about your strengths and weaknesses? How well can you react to a particular situation, adapt in a surrounding? So these are some of the questions that even companies look into you as a candidate, and they want that you are able to like do all the check boxes there. So that's very important. So soft skills is very important. So just make sure whenever you just even work in a team project, in your college, or just go to hackathon, make sure you are able to try to simulate these soft skills whenever you are interacting with people, and see, always get feedback. If someone tells you that you were rude to me or something, don't take it negatively. Take feedback from that and improve you as a person, because we need to look inside us before we look outside and blame other people, right? So always make sure you are learning and making a better version of yourself. And then these were some of the things that I wanted to cover, like how you progress when you're preparing yourself for your future interviews and all. And then I would like to talk about the learnings that I made specifically when I was going through this journey. So a disclaimer that this journey is not going to be easy. It's not at all easy, but you have to stay consistent, and that's what matters. You have to stay consistent and motivated. So, being motivated is not going to be easy, because I'll be just very honest that it is going to be a ride full of highs and lows. You're going to face a lot of rejections, you're going to face a lot of failures, and you're also going to face a lot of success, right? But the ratio can be up and down, and it is not going to be a smooth journey. Like, it can be both ways, negative and positive. So what you need to do is that you need to make sure that you are able to accept the situation. First, you need to know what you're going to go through in your 4 years of your college, right? So it's going to be a journey. It's like, you might see people who are succeeding a lot in their life. You would see people putting posts on LinkedIn that they got an offer here, there, and all. So that's what, like, they also had their own journey, but what you see is the best part of it only. No one writes about their rejections and failures, right? That's a very personal thing. So always make sure that you accept that there are going to be failures. There are going to be instances where you will have to motivate your own self and get out of that situation, and make sure that you are learning things out of it, that what you did wrong there, what could have been better. So always motivate yourself, because don't wait for people to motivate you. You should be your uh, best judge and best motivator. This is what I learned. And don't ever compare yourself to others, because as I said, everyone has a different journey. No comparison. People only show you, and you only see the good sides of it. You never know the bad sides of what people have went through. So don't compare, because everyone has a different pace of learning. And eventually your goal should be to land into the aim that you had in your mind when you started into your college, right? And you should always have the willingness to learn. Even I can say that whenever I go to my office every day, I learn something new every day, and the learning is never going to stop. You will learn through people across you. You will learn through your co-workers when you start working. You will even learn through your juniors, because it's not about that who that person is. It should be about what that person brings to the table, that you are interested in adding it as a skill to yourself. So always just have that zeal to learn. And then you should definitely seek for guidance. You can seek for guidance from your college students, like your seniors, your peers. So having a good peer group here is very important, because there can be two sides of it. So there can be peers who are just like chill, who just came to study and do BTech because their parents just force them to do. And maybe they have a family business running, so they are just chill, they don't have that pressure. So you need to know whom you are making friends, like who are they actually, do your goals align? So if you sit with those people, then they might not have that goal as what you are having, because they have a different direction of thinking, right? So make sure you sit with like-minded people, have a group with them, who and make sure you motivate each other out, help each other out, because that's how you're going to go through this journey. So having a good set of peers is really very important. It actually, they help you to stay motivated, push your boundaries. So never choose a group that is lazy, and then not even interested. They don't Some people don't have a clear vision of what they are going to do. So maybe motivate them, you can try to motivate them. But if you see, right, that they have a different path planned as yours, so just like make sure you get along with people who are very like minded and can help you in achieving your goals in your journey. And then seek guidance from your college seniors, teachers. And you can even, LinkedIn is a good platform. You can reach out to people and then just seek guidance, because everyone nowadays is very willing to help each other out and give back to the community. That's what is good in this generation, and I really like about that. So don't miss a chance to interact and get feedback and seek guidance. And then the last thing that I want to cover here is the placements part. So at the end, you're going to sit for placements. You will have to apply for jobs. So I have actually, seen a lot of people who think that in many cases, when it's a tier 3 college, so the companies coming to those colleges are not that good, and everyone has that vision of getting into FANG companies as their job. But to be really very honest, it's not possible that all of you are able to get into fan company as your first job, because your first job kind of depends on the competition that you have, because there are a lot of students who are going to pursue computer science. The number is increasing year by year. The competition is a lot. And it can be a situation where your college does not have good companies coming, and you have to sit for off campus placements, right? So that makes it more competitive. So I would just say that don't let your dream get killed just because of that situation. You want to land in a good big tech company, which is a good dream to have. But even though if you're not able to land into that you know role in your first company, just don't get demotivated by that, because your journey has just begun. So even if you are able to not, maybe for example you targeted as getting into a fan company, but you got into maybe a medium sized company, or just say for example a startup. So don't get demotivated like just by that thing, because just you should think that you are lucky that you are employed and getting jobs. I know so many people who are struggling a lot to get jobs. There are so many layoffs happening. People are there who are unemployed. So I would say that all of you who are landing into any job is you are really lucky. Make sure you make learnings out of it, and your learning progress should not stop. Then after you gain some years of experience in your current role, then you can go for applying to big top companies also, right? So that's a journey that everyone has different. Not all of you can land into fan companies or other big tech companies in your first role only, right? So make sure that don't get demotivated. Always when you're applying to companies as a fresher, always apply to all the companies. Don't just fix yourself to some specific top companies, because you have to consider all the, like, even the worst case and best case scenario, both, all the scenarios. So you just can't think that it is going to be like, that's too good to be true, right? That you're going to clear your first interview and get into the top company that you aimed for. So you need to be prepared very well to handle what like all type of scenarios, so apply to all the jobs out there. Just don't think about like I should not apply to this company just because it's a small scale company. Apply to everywhere. You can definitely choose whatever what offer you want to choose at the end if you have multiple offers, but just apply, sit for interviews. Sitting for interviews give you a lot of exposure, like how do you answer to people, right? And then they also keep makes you revising the skills that you have learned all over your college journey. So just keep on applying to all types of companies. Like it depends on the role that you're interested in. So there are many companies which do hire for software engineering roles, and definitely go apply to all of them. And always make sure that whenever you are applying, you are try to customize your resume according to what the job needs, right? So for example, if you are applying to a job which says that it's a back-end engineer job, right? But your resume is more about filled with front end things, so why will a recruiter want to hire you? Because your skills that you're showing doesn't match with the actual job description, the skills that are required over there. So you need to keep some presence of mind and make sure that you are able to always apply to the jobs which align to your skills. Always make sure you are able to showcase properly in your resume that the skills well, and then only apply. So you might have to change your resume a bit depending on what job you are applying to. Because for example, if you know web development, you might know both front end and back end, but if it's a front end job, you would want to show more about front end. If it's a back end job, then show more about backend. So it depends on that. So just make sure you're giving a lot of time to designing and customizing your resume. Make sure you are getting it reviewed by someone, so that sometimes there are some mistakes that we oversee that can be cleared when you get good feedback from there. And yeah, I think that's what I had to cover. In the end, the some tips that I have in my mind to give you as a senior is that it's just that this journey is still, even when I say that I am working, I have 3 years of experience. For me also, there are different kind of challenges that I face than how you would face in your college days, right? So for me also, it's not that because I'm in Google, it's just good, good, good. It's not like that. You just see that I am an engineer at Google, that means it's good. So everyone has a different journey, they have their own life. So there are, apart from your work also, you have a lot of things to, lot of responsibilities to take. So all these things is like, it's not always going to be good. This is going to be a mix of good and bad. Sometimes you would be overloaded with a lot of work, you'll have to sometimes prioritize in multiple situations, you'll have to make decisions. So these put you in a very uncomfortable situations, but you need to make sure that you're able to stay calm and make the best out of it, and always trust yourself. Because trusting yourself and knowing like what you are and what's the best version of you is the biggest reality check that you can ever give it to yourself. Never like fake anything, never be dishonest to yourself. Always know your current, like how well are you placed in terms of your preparation and everything, how well are you placed even when you're sitting for an interview. Or so just be honest, always be confident. So, and that's what my dad used to tell me. So if you are if you lose your confidence at the time of when you are, let's say, for sitting for interviews or anything, if you lose your confidence, you obviously have lost it, right? So the opportunity is kind of gone. But if you keep confidence and trust the hard work that you have done, spending or time on it, then there is still a chance that you can actually win that, right? So it's very important to stay very confident and make sure you are always doing a lot of hard work, and never stop being consistent, because consistency is the most important thing over here. So if you will have to, if you're solving problems, you'll have to do it every day. And it doesn't work like you just do it 2 days a week and then you expect that you're able to solve all the problems. So it takes time for your mind to learn new things. It's not easy even for your mind to grasp so many things. So just give it time, be consistent and learn from others. So that's all that I had from my side to speak about, and I am definitely open to taking questions.
Okay, thank you, Navya. It was a really incredible story. I'm imagining a enthusiast learner and turning into a software engineer. So yeah, you presented it really well, and kudos to you to put head start also that there will be rejections, heartbreaks, and all. This is not a bed of roses. There will be thorns also. So it's an incredible journey of your hardship, smart work. You must also be a very, in a position where you not hit the right target at first
Right.
go. So you really accepted that. That's a very good point to take away from this. And okay, we are open for questions. So we have designed some questions. Firstly, so I to say that you've already covered it really well, but still let's you know take up some things. Okay, so what was the? Can you recall any moment of realization when you say that this is something I want to do? That can you recall any such a
Thing I
moment of?
will do.
Yeah.
Okay, so there were many, but just to quote an important one here is so I used to overthink a lot about a particular situation. So that actually used to just stop my mind from functioning. So, for example, I'll tell you. So, for example, when I was, used to practice DSA, and I used to sometimes there used to be those contests on lead code, and I used to practice there. And then when I opened that question, I was blank. At times, I didn't even knew how to solve it. So I used to get very demotivated, very underconfident, and used to overthink a lot that I just wasted a lot of time. I did so much preparation, but still I'm not able to solve this question. That's just I'm a failure. I used to go to the extent of negativity, and that's where I learned, that negativity is going to make situations more worse for you, and it's not possible that for me even now it's not possible that I will be able to solve any given question in just one shot, right? It might take some time because it depends on what the question is, what the complexity is, because no one is perfect, and even I don't think anyone in the world can do that, right? So you should trust your preparation. You should not get negative. Always stay confident and positive about it. There will be scenarios where you won't be able to do certain things that you would have thought that I can easily do it, but when the actual situation comes you will know that I'm not able to do it. So just don't get demotivated. Overthinking and negative thinking just kills your brain and it makes you more weak, and never do that. So that's what was the biggest like change point of my life, where I started thinking positively. So even if it's a negative situation, try to reframe it in your mind in a positive way. That gives you some assurance that yeah, okay, you're going on a right path. So that's what.
Yeah, so we can say overthinking sometimes help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So as we are in 2025, we have, as you mentioned, that we have so many resources, so much accessibility. The students are might get confused which to pursue. So, in your opinion, what is the best technical skill which will be irreplaceable for 3 to 5 year coming? That was at their time also, and it will
Right. So
continue
the
to be.
best
Yeah.
skill that any software engineer should work on is problem solving, because that's what I told. Problem solving is a skill that is not dependent on any language. It is just dependent on concepts. So even if you start working in any XYZ random company, your problem solving is going to help you depending on whatever tech stack they use. But the logic building that you developed over the course of years when you were learning, that is going to help you to do work there, think more ideas and solutions. So tech stack is something that you can learn any day. Even if you switch companies, always I mean, you all would know that not all companies have same tech stacks, right? That is definitely, you will have to keep on learning if you switch companies. But what stays consistent throughout is how you think logically, how you're able to process, like approach to a given problem to you. So that is what problem solving is all about. So that's never going to change, even if technology evolves or new tech stack comes in, new platforms come in. That's going to stay stable, and it's no, even more than 3 to 5 years, it's going to be the same.
Okay, that's great. So, as you were talking about the mentors and the leadership, community engagement, and all, so do you have any kind of role model of any kind of mentor that you followed throughout the journey? That we all idolize someone, just okay, want to
Okay,
be
so
like that.
when I started my college journey, there were a couple of seniors who were really, very motivating. So in my college time, I joined a few technical clubs that most of the people do now. So I really met some seniors over there who had a very inspiring journey, and I learned a lot from them. They were really very helpful. They used to give a lot of good insights to someone who is just basically a noob in that area, right? So I learned a lot from them. But then, when another good resource that I found is that everyone knows about Striver's SD sheet, right? So I genuinely found it very helpful for myself when I was preparing and solving questions, when I wanted to understand the logic behind it. So I mean, that has been very helpful to me, and it's a free resource open to all, and I think many people know about it. So there are very like a lot of extensive content available on the internet, but I mean, it depends on your choice. So some people might not like the content that I like, because maybe the way that content is being made is more suitable to my brain and understanding level. It might not suit their level, but you might need to explore some contents. But definitely getting seniors guidance here is going to be very helpful, because they have been through this journey, right? So they know that maybe they can filter out some things for you, and then it leaves less scope for you to explore, so you get a lot of guidance from them. So that's why I tell everyone that in college, people are usually very hesitant and shy to talk about themselves. So this networking and engagement is a very important thing that everyone should do, and learn from the people who have already been in that situation. So yeah.
Yeah, so adding to this, that you put up a very great point. That's like most of the students get confused, like how to grow in the industries, like how to build connections, initiative when we are starting out. When we build some position, that will get easier, but when it's pressure, getting hard. So,
Can you repeat your question? I just lost last two sentences of it.
like as you end the last answer in a very good, you put a very good point about the networking that most of the students get struggle to, like how to reach out to people as a fresher, mostly
Right.
because you had an experience, you sort of easy to connect people and communicate, but initially people struggle a lot. So, what advice do you want to give? Yeah.
So, especially in your college time, make sure there are many technical chapters out there. So be a part of them. Don't be hesitant that it is never gonna waste your time, and it is very very useful, because there are so many events that college even hosts, right? So you will see some speakers coming to your college. You will see that your seniors are organizing something. So going and being a part of those technical clubs and chapters and participating in events, so you'll have to go a bit out of your comfort zone and make sure you're participating, because when you participate, you share your knowledge, and you also take some from others. So in at a college level, that's a very good thing to go into, because even I, when I was in my college time, I joined technical communities there. Then only I connected with some seniors which had a same goal which I had in my mind. So that's how you know that that person is right for me as a mentor, because you should talk to people, because not the first person that you're going to talk to is the right person to for you to idolize as a mentor, right? So that you want to make sure that you're talking to a large amount of people. You're getting like what actually their goals are. Does it align with your goal or not? Then just talk to them. And everyone is so helpful nowadays that even during that time, seniors are especially very helpful, because they think that they think as of you, like your younger brothers and sisters. They want actually you to succeed, and make sure that they'll give you some tips that you should not get stuck at, because they have already faced those things. So that's a good place to be. But if like for people who are like out of college, like the right way to get networking is that in your current company that you're working at, so do go and talk to people, engage in conversation. So because even if you're working in a current company, people have a very different sets of backgrounds and experiences that they have come from, and now they are working there in the company. So obviously learn from them. When you talk, you learn a lot. So for me, in Google, I talked to so many people, and I learned a lot from them, from their journeys, how was it for them, and how things were. So, and especially talking to seniors actually gives you more insight into what it is going to be for you in the next couple of years. So that's very important.
Okay, great. So, to the next question, as you've already many years of experience in corporate, so what's your idea on the changing roles for career transaction? Is it a good approach, or what is the ideal, time gap to do that? What's your,
Changing
thought?
roles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you mean switching ladders between two, like for example, if I'm into engineering but I want to go into management side roles, is that what your question
I
means?
know it seems like I'm from tester to developer, the
Okay.
transitions, yeah, roles, yeah.
Yeah, that actually happens a lot now, and it is a good thing to do. So sometimes what happens is that people start working, for example, in a particular role, but they get bored in that role, and they might explore, or they might have heard about some new role from their friend or colleagues, and they read about it and they found interesting. So people usually, when they want to do try something new and they want to switch their domains, that's how it happens. But it is a good thing to do, because I mean, what I believe is that you should always pursue something in your job what you're interested in, what you love doing. If it is not that thing, then it is like a kind of a boਝ, like a baggage for you, that you're just doing it for the sake of earning money. So you're not going to enjoy your work, so it will just add a lot of tension to your mind, and you just think of it as a task, right? So I always I always say that always you should love the work that you're doing. If you don't, then always try to find something that interests you more, because so that you're able to contribute more to that area. And I have seen that people switch from, like for example, they are into testing, and then QA testing and all, and they want to switch to a more of a developer role. So people do that, but for that, like I mean, usually how I would say going around is that maybe in your current company, try to switch roles in the same company, gain some experience, and then try for external switches. If you don't have any prior experience working in that new role. But in some cases, if it's not possible, then try to learn the skills required for the new role on your own, and then make a resume out of it. Try applying to companies. You might not get the topmost company out there in that role, but you can start fresh from maybe a startup or a small scale company that is going to give you a good experience again. Then you can eventually grow in the role by switching again. So that's how it should be.
Okay, cool. So, as you know that the industry is getting more competitive, and we as sort of a student, when passing out from the engineering college, we get the baggage of getting worried more about the layoffs. Previously, we are getting worried to get a job. Now it is fear instinct, to get layoff. So, what's your advice as a mentor, that what's the better approach, to take on that,
So you can't control layoffs. Even so, I would say that if you get into any industry, no one is secure, because layoffs can impact anyone now. So I think you should not worry about layoffs. What you should worry about is your work quality. You are able to complete the task assigned to you on time. You are able to learn from the work that you're doing. So just focus on yourself, focus on your learnings, because there are two things: the some things that you can control and some things which are out of your control. So why worry and spend stressing about the things which you cannot control? Because it is luck based and situation based. It can hit you. If it has to hit you, you don't have control over it. So control the things that you can, which is your learning, the learnings that you make, like the task, your completion, yeah, how well you are able to deliver your tasks on time and all. How well you are able to, when you, if you're presenting it to some stakeholders, how well you are able to do it. How well do you know the knowledge of your domain that you're working into? So those things are important, and that's what you should worry about and work on. So layoffs happen and then rehiring also happens. I mean, don't worry about something that is very unstable and you cannot even predict what's going to happen. So worry about working on your skills, because even if you get laid off in worst case, your skills are going to help you later to switch again to a different company.
Okay, great, Navya. So let's put up a very the next question in a very not a technical terms like what's the one habit or yeah, what's the one habit that mindset that you followed during the burnout period or maybe when you're not feeling right that yeah, that works like a bounce back for you even in corporate or your college times. Can you
You mean, okay, the mindset. So I think,
or any habit like
yeah.
to come out of that zone? Yeah.
So I mean, there were moments when you will be disappointed, you will be sad. You can take some time to reflect on it. Be sad, it's okay. Sometimes I even used to, like, I just wanted my space. I sometimes even cried in myself, and then but later on you should know that what is your way of relieving stress. So some people like to cry, some people like to just share it with others, like what they are feeling. So that depends. So just make sure that all the negativity you just take it out in some form, and take some days, like take 1 day 2 day to get out of any situation that you find that was bad to you. But you should have that mindset that that's what positive thinking. You should bounce back. Like, you cannot stay in that deadlock forever, that you are just thinking negatively, then that impacts your work, and then something bad happens, then again you are thinking negatively. So I mean, thinking negatively is gonna definitely kill your mind, and that's what my ideology has changed over years. I have started accepting things like how they are, and started seeing them positive way. Like, I know that it's not possible to do 100% switch of negative to positive, but to whatever extent you can, just give your mind positive signals, because bad things are gonna happen. They are a part of life. Good and bad things are gonna happen, so you can't control it either. Take your time to get out of it, but just don't stay stuck in it. So just don't think that like I am the unluckiest, everything is happening bad with me. It is not, because you still don't know that there are people out there who are in a very worse situation than you, but you don't know it, right? So I would say that always be grateful to what you have. Just acknowledge it and just make the best out of it, and that's what I learned. So your way of seeing life would actually change, and that's what has kind of improved. That's a quality that I improved in me, and I find it very helpful nowadays.
Okay, great, Navya. That was so brilliant approach, to deal with procrastination or anything bad of it. So that's it from the questions from my end. Anything you want to add?
I think nowadays people are putting a lot of effort. So in back in my time, there we didn't have that much knowledge of how to do things, how to prepare. But nowadays students are very smart. They have so many resources and so many, like, they have a good amount of exposure, so things are getting really better. So I really like this generation, because this generation likes to uh, work and learn things more. They think that learning is very important, and growing yourself as a person is very important, so they focus on themselves as a person. That is what I like as a most, and I think everyone should keep on doing that, and always love yourself for whatever you do. So just be grateful to everything, and I think it's gonna fall in place eventually, whatever goals and aims that you have in your life. So if you just be consistent and work hard, it's you are going to land up there. It might take 2 3 more years, or maybe 5 6 more years, but that depends on the situation, and some part of luck is also there, but you are going to land there if you stay consistent. That's what I had as closing remarks.
Thank you so much, Navya. Thank you for taking your time and guiding the aspiring students. It was a really insightful conversation, taking away so many new learnings that will help students in their career. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for joining in.
Thank you so much, and it
Yeah,
was a nice session. Thank you.
thank you.